I think it's about time we do a van tour. This is our 2022 VW Crafter 4Motion. Let's take a look. So in this video, I'm going to show you our VW Crafter, give you a full tour of our self-converted van designed to sleep 4 people. I'll go through the full spec of the van. I'll also put some links in the description for different parts of the build, and I'll show you all the areas where I've tried to save weight and any little clever design features that we incorporated into the build. It's a VW Crafter 22 plate. We bought it second hand. It was an ex-demo van, straight from VW, and it had 5,000 miles on the clock. It is a 4Motion, which means it's 4-wheel drive, which is exactly what we wanted, as we wanted to be able to try and get off the beaten track and have confidence to take it places. We've just taken it to the Arctic Circle, where we encountered huge blizzards, snowy mountain passes, and to be honest, it didn't skip a beat. I'll start on the outside and then we'll work our way in. Things we've done to the outside then, we've got a full aux beam lighting system. So we've got the bonnet lights on there in yellow to help us with driving in the snow. We've also got a light bar which is part of the Mule van's roof rack. We've also got a Seikel snorkel, and we have also got Seikel Under Armour plates. All of these things were designed to make the van more capable when we take it to sketchy areas, basically, and give us a bit more confidence to do that. Wheels! Ginny's choice, these, not mine, although they are pretty badass and I do like them. We've got Black Rhino 17-inch Arsenals wrapped in a BF Goodrich KO2 all-terrain tyre, and the size of this one is a 255/65/17. Almost the biggest tyre you can fit on these, but we did just want to leave a little bit of room. We have got a set of low-profile chains that we never needed to use, but just in case. Another thing we did do to the tyres when we were in the Arctic is we did screw in 75 ice studs into each tyre in -7. It was absolutely freezing doing that. It took me about 3 hours, and honestly, the KO2 before we did that on the snow was brilliant, and then when we put those ice studs in, holy shit, these things, honestly, this thing did not slip, it did not move, it absolutely felt unstoppable in the snow and ice. And they're not too noisy. Everybody says they're noisy. I don't think they're noisy. Once you've insulated your van, you can't hear a thing. We've also got the Seikel full suspension upgrade and lift kit. Not only does this give it another 30mm lift, it also just makes the van handle amazing. If there was one thing I would definitely do to my next van, is a suspension upgrade. It just made it feel so much more compliant on rough stuff, yet not wallowy, and it doesn't feel like it rolls around. So really happy with the Seikel suspension kit. We've also had the suspension kit on the back with a lift kit, and we've also had an additional spring put in the back, so it just copes with that 3.9 tons that we've upgraded the van to. As I said before, we've got a Mule van's roof rack, which has the incorporated light bar on the front. The main advantage of the roof rack is the fact that it's modular, and also it means that all of the things on the roof are hidden. So like all the solar panels, all the Max Air fans, you can't see them. It really tidies up the side of the van. Another thing we've done is put a few work lights on the sides and on the back just to illuminate the outside if we need to change a wheel. Or round the back then, we have got a Mule van's spare wheel carrier and ladder, aluminium made, super lightweight, and really finishes off the back of the van. They do a tasty little storage thing for the right hand side door, but to be honest, we're right on the limit of weight at the moment. A van is never finished. And then I've also got just a cheap garbage bag on the back, Amazon, 20 quid. I'll take you on the roof. These are the work lights. We've got one there and then one either side. We've got 4 solar panels with a total of 500 watts of solar overall. Actually, those solar panels need a bit of a clean. The last thing to mention on the outside are the windows. We've got double glazed window units from Jackson Leisure. 2 of these large ones either side, and then a smaller one here. We've also got a single glazed sliding window in the shower room. We just couldn't find a double glazed one small enough to fit that space that we needed it to. Right, come with me and I'll show you the inside. Before we jump in, a few little bits to show you out here. We've got this flip up table which is super handy when you're cooking outside, just an extra place to put something. We've also got a flip up table there. That's a nice extension to the kitchen area. Another little feature is this 230 socket, which we use for the oven inside. And actually, in one of the videos coming up, I'm going to talk about all the things that are wrong with our van. That is kind of one of the things that's wrong with it, or the position of it. It could be better. We've also got a little storage area underneath here where I keep my outdoor stove, matches, pack of gloves, that type of thing. Oh, and finally, we've got these little hooks, which are from IKEA, and we've got loads of these in the van. They're so handy for drying things, hanging your bin bag up there. Right, inside. Flooring wise, throughout the van, we've got Altro's oak flooring, super hard wearing, I can rate that. This bench seat lifts up. I won't show you inside because Ginny will shout at me. Essentially, that is the utility room. It's got the dustpan and brush, bin bags, cleaning stuff. We are getting this seat covered in the same fabric as our seats, along with our captain chairs. However, just time and money. Welcome to my humble abode. I want to make this video like cribs. So, 2 captain chairs sitting on Audio swivel seats. They are weighty, but they feel nice and safe, and there's no movement or no play in them. We've got a double Fabworks passenger seat that folds down into a bed, and then this links up with the driver's seat to give a total bed length of 2 meters. So it's very roomy. These also have ISOFIX on them, which means they're perfect for our little kids. We've got a fold out table here. So perfect for dining, perfect for working on. This is where I like to sit and edit. Because we've got Vandermoon Moon boxes up here and in the bedroom down there, the way I've panelled the van is slightly different and less common to how most people do it. All along the roof and all along the sides of the van, I've actually got this L-track. I'll put a link to that video up here so you can see how I've done it. But this meant that not only can you use these lashing points anywhere in the van, it also meant that I could clad the van in a modular way. And this was really important because I wanted to be able to get behind any panel of the van at any time if we needed to do any maintenance. So the van is mainly clad in this faux leather from RC Fabrics, but we've also used some of the faux suede as well in the bedroom to make it a little bit cozy. We've also got strip lighting underneath all of the Vandermoon Moon boxes here. Above the seating area, we've got 2 Vandermoon Moon boxes, and I have to say these things are absolutely amazing. Lightweight, you can't bang your head on them because they're all padded and cushioned, and the storage on them's insane. You've got pockets all underneath here, pockets all along the front, and I'll show you inside in a second. Inside this one's actually mine. Inside this one, we've got, it's not very organised, clothes, towels. I say it's mine, it's 10% mine, 90% van. And then this drawer is like that annoying drawer you have at home in the kitchen that's just full of random things like screwdrivers and plasters and stuff like that, medical supplies. These nets on the front as well, which are pretty good for storing little bits. This is like my toiletries storage. Here's the L-track on the ceiling. Again, we've got more of these tie-down points. We actually use those to hang the washing line up when we're in the Arctic. So we'd string it from here to these hooks on the moon boxes and back and back. And that way we could hang a full load of washing up overnight, and with the heater on and with the max air fan on, it would dry. This moon box here is little man's. There's not a lot in it because we're home and we're just restocking and recalibrating. Behind me here is the over cab shelf that I fitted. I just suede lined that. Essentially up there, we basically keep the blinds for the front screens. We've got the Vandermoon blinds, which fit really well. They're insulated. They keep the cab really warm. We didn't actually take these to the Arctic because I forgot to put them in, but we did have a full curtain that went round. We've got a cheeky little Autoterm controller there. That's actually for our engine preheater. Anything below -10 degrees, you really want to be using an engine heater so you don't damage your engine from cold starts. That is the aux beam control panel that controls all of the lights. That is safety cardboard designed to stop our toddler banging himself on anything that is remotely hard hard or pointy because he is pretty accident prone at the moment. There is more additional storage underneath the Fabworks bed. We've got some USB chargers there. We've also got some 230 sockets there. Another nice little detail is this third seat belt, and this is for our dog Sky, so she's nice and safe during transit. Right here we've got a Max Air fan. We've got two of these, one there and one down at the back just above the bed area, and I have to say they are absolutely brilliant. So far we've camped in really cold conditions, and with our Autoterm heater it was so hot in here that we actually had to have the fans on even in -10. They just create such good airflow, such good ventilation. It never felt like there was too much moisture in here, so I can definitely recommend fitting 2 Max Air fans to your camper van build. In terms of lighting, we've got loads of these LED spotlights, and these are also dimmable, so if you hold them down. Into the kitchen, we have got additional hooks for hanging dishcloths on. Exciting stuff, I know. Flip up table, which you've already seen, very handy. It extends the worktop, and that pretty much either holds the oven or is where you do your chopping and things like that, because there's actually not that much worktop space once you've got your sink in there, once you've got the induction hob. We have got a wooden chopping board that sits in the sink, but to be honest, we found that we don't really use it because the sink's generally got something in or being used as well. IKEA full depth sink, which is super handy for washing up, especially when you're in the van for extended periods. 6 weeks in the Arctic, we were in the van a lot. We were off grid most of the time, so we were using the washing up facilities here. Pulley out nozzle is super handy as well for saving water and washing up. And over here we have got a twin induction hob. Sterling power if you want one. It's pretty good, but it does suck all of the power out of your batteries. Up here, we have got 2 Moon Box IOs. So these are the hard shell ones, aluminium, super lightweight, super happy with these. I've got a discount code and I'll put a link in the description for any of the Vandermoon stuff. Love the sound of the catch. These are just brilliant. We could fit more using our L-track system. We can move them around. They don't have shelves in them, which means you can fit kind of bigger things, which is what you kind of want. This one generally is looking a little bit bare. It's because it's where we keep our fresh food and food that can be stored out of the fridge. And then in this one, slightly bigger one, is where all of our cooking pans, plates, bowls, knives and forks, stuff like that goes. We have got in these some of this just off Temu. It's just for kitchen cupboards, so it stops things rattling around. You put it on the base of it. It's grippy, works a treat. I recommend. Sink, hob, and then master control panel. And here we've got a couple of different systems going on. We have got water pump, and that was a late addition to the van build, but I thought, you know what, if anything goes wrong or you're not in the van, it's probably good to turn off the water pump, because otherwise, once it's on, if there's a pressure leak, it will just keep pumping water out. The second switch, you can see this in my Arctic prep video, I actually fitted some heated silicone mats around the exit pipes of our wastewater system. 4 kilowatt Autoterm heater there. That thing was an absolute beast. We chose our Autoterm heater just on generally good reviews, but honestly, the 4 kilowatt one is the bigger one. You can get a 2 kilowatt one as well. Absolutely amazing bit of kit. Since we fitted that whole Autoterm system, we've actually partnered with Autoterm, and they helped us out with the fitting of our engine preheater. I've got a link in the description and a discount code to save yourself a bit of money. Honestly, we thoroughly tested that heater. It was brilliant. We didn't have any problems with it. It just kept the van so hot. It stayed on its most lowest setting for pretty much the whole of the trip. Even in -10, I think we put it on the second lowest setting. That combined with the insulation, which we used Dodo mat 50mm thermoliner in the walls, with then the Dodo fleece on top of it. Full Victron system, I will show you that when we jump into the boot. 660 amp hours of lithium batteries in the back. Then we've got the Bobil Systems water heater, and then we've just got all our lighting switches, extra USB switch, and some extra 230 sockets. We've got a Dometic fridge. It's looking pretty sparse. It's just got the essentials, beer and burger sauce at the moment. Here we've got a couple of cupboards. This is a little bit of a storage nightmare and needs some work. That's where our air fryer lives. We've got another cupboard here, which again just gets rammed full of stuff. That was supposed to be our cutlery drawer, but we've ended up putting our cutlery up there. Basically, it just gets stuffed full of random cooking implements. And then this cupboard here, oh, Ginny's little step to help her get into bed, although I did build her some ladders. This cupboard here is where we keep a few other bits like our blender, some more beer, and a coffee maker. That's quite a handy little cupboard. I like that cupboard. Shower room. This is where our build is slightly different to most people's, and that is we actually have a separate shower tray within our shower room. We've just got one of these roll door things. Don't know where it was from, but it's very good. And inside, as you can see, the shower tray is not all the way across the shower room. Nice little window, so perfect height for your... We have got an insulated insert that pushes into that for the cold weathers. A nice little unit there with a tiny little sink there. Little storage cupboard in here for toilet rolls and cleaning supplies. Toilet roll holder from IKEA. These IKEA things, brilliant. They work really well, super pleased with them. In here we have got our Trillino toilet that moves from either this location to this location, and then we've got a stainless steel shower tray there. We've also got a Max Air fan dome on the ceiling. The reason why we've split the shower room like this, and it worked perfectly for what we wanted, was because of having little kids and being able to shower them off. If I was building another van and they were a little bit older, I probably would go for a wet room. It also gives you plenty of room when you sat on the throne. And those of you that watch my shower room build will know I'm pretty happy about that. We've also got one of those fancy shower heads that basically gives you a really good flow rate on your shower. That combined with the Bobil van's water heater, that's the hybrid system that works with our Autoterm diesel heater, so we can heat it off the diesel heater, we can heat it off 12 volt, and we can also heat it off 240 volt. You can have a full long shower, solid oak worktop to make it feel a little bit homely. We wanted this van to feel really like a nice small cozy place to be. A vinyl wrap on a piece of shower panel, and we've also got a strip light underneath there, which is really essential when cooking because these LED lights are great. They just don't produce enough light. Finally, this is where the magic happens. I say that, I completely lie because I've not ever slept in there. That is where Ginny and the kids sleep, and I probably won't ever get to sleep up there. I've been cast aside to sleep down here. So this is where Ginny and the kids sleep. We've got one massive moon box. It's the Safari one, so it's got these nets instead of pockets underneath, nets there, and then front pockets and a load of clips. A few little reading lights here and in that corner. We've got extra L track along the top and sides there, so if we do want to add another moon box you can. Ginny's just got another little IKEA storage box there which she puts her phone and things like that in. That's it, that's the bed space. Then we've got a couple of heating ducts here and here for the Autoterm diesel heater. The last part of the interior tour is the front bed. That's Ginny's yoga mat. Just move that. That is the full sleeping situation. It is roomy and comfy. I love this. Love this. I love this bed. Look how much room I've got. It's mint. Look. This really will probably become the kids' bed. It would be a very cozy double. In fact, little man slept down here with me quite a few times. It also just makes a really nice place to chill and look out your doors. And there you go. Round the back. Right, back doors. On the doors, we have got the Vandermoon rear door organisers, which can't fault them at all. They literally work like a mini workshop. They just store all of our recovery gear, all of our firelighting gear, all of our tools and equipment, everything for filling up with water, our water tanks, our hose pipe, all of our power cables for plugging in, things like that, adapters. It's all in there. They add so much storage to your van. I cannot recommend them enough. There's a full video of me installing them, which I'll link up here. And then in the boot, it is a little bit of a mess. I probably should tidy it up for you. In fact, hold that thought, I'll tidy it up for you. And it's kind of tidy. In the boot of our van, it's high enough to take the bikes. I've got a bike tray that I've built that I need to fit. On this side, we've got all of our heating and hot water tank is inside this box. The diesel heater's inside there. And then behind that, we've got the 100 litre overarch water tank. As I said, we've got a 4 kilowatt Autoterm heater. And then we've got the 10 litre hybrid hot water system from Bobil vans. And then on this side, we have got our full electrical system, which I've done so it's protected in that cabinet, but also so it is easily accessible. And we did have a problem. We did have some blown fuses whilst we were in the Arctic. Ginny overcooked the system. Yeah, we were able to find those fuses and easily fit them and fix the system. And then we've just got traction boards, our solo stove, which we love, that's from Adventure Van Life, 2 extra 230 sockets there, and a light switch that illuminates the electrical cupboard and the garage. In the garage, we've got the full electrical Victron system. I've got quite a few videos on this. I'll put a link up there. Victron Multiplus 2, and then we've also got 2 330 amp hour Victron batteries. These plastic panels just are magnetized, so they unclip and you can get in there. It's all easily accessible in there, and it looks pretty tidy. In fact, you can see there something's been scratching or scraping against it. We've got a heating duct that goes over, round and into the shower room, so it can act like a drying room. And then we've got all of our water pipes. One last thing is this. This is actually an insulated panel. So I've just used some 3mm plywood and put on there some 15mm thermoliner. That way it's nice and insulated, keeps Ginny and the kids nice and warm. And then it also, I've got some wooden supports on here, and these things, I'll insert a clip of this when it's in winter mode. These hold Ginny's skis and my snowboard over here. Big bag of logs for the solo stove. If you have got absolutely any questions about anything that I've built in the van or how I've done something and you want to know, don't hesitate. Drop a comment, send me a DM over Instagram. I'll put my tag here. I always get back to people. I love helping people out. This was our first van that we built, and I really tried my best to do a professional job of it. This van was for Ginny. It was her dream to always have a camper van, and I've really enjoyed building this van. I'm really proud of the van, and we've already had an amazing trip to the Arctic, and we've already made some amazing memories. So if you've got any questions, please get in touch. I'll do my absolute best to help you out. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. New builds and new adventures on the horizon. I have documented the full build so you can see it all in that playlist. Click here to watch another video that YouTube thinks you should watch. See you later. Bye.